Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Arm Talk. I'm your host, as always, Chocolate Thunder Jody Williams, and today my special guest. And you know what? This show is going to be so good. I got 2 cups of coffee because it might be that kind of show today. However, this man needs an introduction. If you know arm wrestling, he is from El Paso, Texas. One Mr. Freddy Sanchez. Freddy, what's up, my man?
What's up, man? Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Oh, well, good. So, call outs, right? And let's go ahead and kind of refresh everyone's memory because we're talking about calling somebody out. Maybe is there a certain way to call somebody out? And then when there's money involved, there's kind of a process to this whole thing. And you and I are linked to this situation. And another individual, Tom Stubblebine, who I did share the link to. So if he happens to join us, that'd be awesome too.
Okay.
He's also linked in this, As you can see already, Paul Talia is in the house. What's up, Paul? How's everything in Florida? So, Freddie, your version of the story, and then I'll chime in when all of a sudden my name gets attached. So start from the very beginning, the thing. If you want to call it beef between you and Tom Stubblebine, please do.
Okay. Well, the story is that I heard through the grapevine that he was talking shit about me. And I was like, really? He's talking smack. So I, watched the video where he was talking smack, and he said that, he was gonna destroy my ego, and that he would destroy my wrist like this, and that I don't want none of that, and to pull up to Vegas if I ever want any of the smoke and the da da da. So naturally, me being me, I was like, I think I could beat this dude. So I call him out. I'm like, yo, put your money where your mouth is. I was like, you think you could really beat me the way you're saying? Put your money up and we'll get it on, man. And also,
was that the double bicep video?
Like, you don't want none of this fake natty shit and whatever else he was saying. He was rambling on. And he was apparently trying to say later on that I was the one that started talking shit, but let's get this right. The facts are that he was the one that started with the shit talking. So I thought, damn, well, he's kind of offering me an opportunity because he's talking shit, and I was like, put your money up, man, let's do this. And I was like, you claim you're number one in Nevada? I was like, I would love to prove that I can beat you, because I got New Mexico pretty much on lock, Arizona, Colorado, like those 3 states. I usually beat mostly everybody around there. So I was like, shit, Nevada too. I was like, let's go. So I was excited, and dude shut it down on Paul Italia's podcast when Paul Italia had me go on there because me and Greg Brown, we made a video, responding to Tom's shit talk. And right. So that caught fire a little bit, and everybody saw that. And that's why Tom claims that I was the one talking shit because I made that video. But I was like, I was just responding to you, bro. So after that, like I said, he just completely shut it down in the podcast. Like even Paul Italia was like, really, bro? Like, you're going to deny that you were talking shit about Freddy first? Like, the proof is in the pudding, But dude had no shame in denying it. And then just saying that I'm not interested in super matches right now. That's not my objective. No super matches at all. That's not what I want. I just want tournaments. I just want to grow,
right.
Long term, da 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 da. And I was like, okay, it's dead in the water. So 2 weeks passed by. I'm focusing on myself. I'm setting up super matches for myself. I have a super match set up July 8th here in El Paso for the #1 title in El Paso. So the way that works is, he's King Kong is his name. He's the original #1 guy here in El Paso. I've never beat him. I've only pulled him once in a tournament. He's about 350 pounds, so he's a lot bigger than me. But he hasn't been too active lately. He went through some health problems, and he just hasn't been active. But he's still strong as an ox. Like, he's amazing still. So it's gonna be a hard match for me. But I wanted to set that matchup for legacy. And then I hear that Tom Stubblebine now calls me out. Now he calls me out for $1,500.
You're not the only one, by the way. You're not the only one, but go ahead.
So, and then he says, or pay me $1,000. and I'll take the match with you. And I'm thinking, what the heck? I'm like, this dude just said he didn't want a super match, and now he's demanding money from me. He's like, yeah, if you want it bad enough, Freddie, since you want so much attention and you want the super match with me, and da 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 da. He was trying to say that I was obsessed with the super match. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? He's trying to flip the script on me, you know? And so I make another response video, and I'm just like, well, like, okay, like, yeah, I'm not gonna give you $1,000. Like, we had already offered him $500 on Paul Italia's podcast, and he didn't want to take that. Like, who wouldn't take $500 if they think they can win, you know?
So let me ask you a question. And by the way, everybody watching the show, good morning and thanks for joining us.
An early bird special.
Yeah, this is not going to be a bashing show, but what I will say, the facts will. Now I'm hoping I sent the link to Tom. Hopefully he'll join us to clear some of this up, because what he says and what he does on one show to another are two different things. So, one, on the Buzz, a show Paul Italia puts together, he's one of the guys on there along with Pradeep and some other people. Now, after that first video where he sat there and posed on you, you don't want none of this, blah, 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 blah. The following show on the Arm Wrestling Buzz, they asked him that question. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Pull up the video. So I don't know if he was actually serious about that. I don't know if he was playing a character. He might have been. I don't know. But that's what it was. And I'm kind of, as side looked like you just had a video out. Is it still up? Because that's the one Greg Brown saw. And that's the one he
Sent to me.
Yeah, sent to you in the response. Now, we all know, because this is what Tom said. These are the facts. I'm still waiting for my t-shirt that says hashtag TATF. These are the facts. So Tom said he's going to focus more on tournament. Cool. No big deal. Right. But then on the show with everybody, it's I want to focus more on tournaments. But for some reason, in his solo videos on his channel, it's, yeah, what's up now? I'm not going, and I'm kind of confused with it, you know. But I will say this. Now, you tell me, first of all, he said he wants to make money, right? Cool. If somebody wants to make money in this sport, more power to him. But there's a pecking order, right? There's a pecking order as far as paying your dues. This is year number 13 for me. What about you? Where are you at in this sport?
This is year number 10, bro.
So, second generation puller yourself, 10 years in the sport. You and I got 2 decades together in this sport. Now, Tom's been around for a few years. You know, he hops on, has thousands of subscribers. Congratulations, by the way, on that, Tom.
Yeah, he's a hard worker.
Right. And the thing is, though, is that he says, I got to make money too. Well, first of all, if you're saying you're going to focus on tournaments, how you plan on making money in a super match? Now, tell me if I'm wrong. First, the purse was at 500, meaning Greg Brown was going to put this up. That means no money came out of your pocket. No money came out of Tom's pocket, right?
Right.
And he turned it down because he has to make money. Well, if my math is correct, you ain't paying nothing out of it. Then it went from there to 750, right?
That was his number. Like,
right. Then it went from 750 to 1500, and then it went to both arms. So it's kind of erratic how I'm hearing all this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. He just wants to pay when he wants it, how he wants it. And then it's like, well, no, yes, no. And it's like, what the heck, bro? Like, you think you just call it shots? Like, it's that. And that's why I think he caught a lot of fire, right, on the podcast, on the Buzz. He's like, whoa. You can't just call your own shots like this, bro. Like, hold on now, slow your roll a little bit. He's like, no. And I get it. You know, he's an excited guy about the sport. He's got a lot of potential. Dude's a badass. You know, I'm not going to. I mean, you look at his physique, you look at his dedication, you look at his YouTube channel, and dude works hard, like I said. So, I mean, I get that he feels confident, but there's a certain way to go about things. And I think he's catching, fire from a lot of people because they're just like, whoa, like you're a little much right now. Like you're wishy-washy. You're hot and then you're cold and then you're super hot. And it's like, you're super cold. And so that's the confusion between me and him and you and him, and that's what you're talking about.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to answer, and I'm asking everybody in the chat a question. I want y'all to answer. Phil, Paul, I want everybody to answer this, too. Yes, why can't just choose you two? So now, 1,500. You know, here's my feeling about this, and this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, by the way, but I've been in the sport long enough to know this. Guys like Devin Larratt, Michael Todd, John Brezink, Jerry Caderet, even Travis Bajan when he's not active. Those guys have paid their dues, right?
Right.
They've proven on a world elite level that they can come in and say, hey, I need this much if I'm going to show up. Todd Zill's another one. Todd Zill will tell you straight up. Cobra Rose will tell you straight up, hey, if you want me to come out there for a seminar, for a match, these are my prices. Because these guys have earned that. They've built that reputation, and they've put this, hey, they put the paintbrush on the canvas. Now, Tom, on the other hand, and I'm trying to remember if the guys on the buzz was actually talking about that, like who have you beaten irrelevant to where you can ask for that kind of money. That's what I'm trying to get to. Because me, am I relevant? It depends on who you talk to. Am I an elite puller? No, not by a long shot. Am I a good puller? Yes. But I don't go around saying, hey, I need this much money. Because in my eyes, that's up to the promoter. If the promoter wants to say, hey, I'll fly you out, I'll pay for your hotel, but you got to pay for your airfare, or vice versa. Hey, I'll pay for your airfare, but you got to find your hotel, whatever the case may be. If that's something they want to do, awesome, cool. I respect that. But again, that's not for me to say, you got to pay this, you got to pay that. And like I told you on the phone the other day, when I went to Armours, that was all out of my pocket. When I went to Monster Factory, that was all out of my pocket. Because I don't, that I was very fortunate and blessed that Michael Todd invited me on his event. I was very blessed and fortunate that Neil Pickup invited me on his event. So for me to sit there and ask for that money is just redundant. Now, going back to Tom, I'm trying to figure out, how does that work? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, like I think that you're a very respectable puller. Like I think that, you have a lot of value to your name because you've been on events like Arm Wars, because you've been on events like Monster Factory, and you won your last match at Monster Factory against Daniel Worley. So that's why naturally I was like, man, if I can call out Jody Williams and he would accept, that'd be phenomenal. So and that's just the way I see it. But I mean, Tom, like he hasn't really been in a big event like that, so I'm sitting here thinking like, well, Jody's way better than Tom. And then Tom goes on and says, well, I beat Jody. I beat Jody. And I'm thinking like, okay. I was like, I thought I saw Jody beat him right-handed. And so I check on Aries. If you guys go on Aries on Facebook, there's a link there. You guys can check any puller you want, and you guys can see whoever they beat, whoever they lost to. So I saw that he did beat you left, but then you beat him right. Man, so I was like, he left out the right hand, of course. And my call out was right-handed. That was
let me go ahead and touch base on that. So here's the thing. If you notice on the show on the Arm Wrestling Buzz, and Paul Talia, you're watching, you can go ahead and shed some light on this too. The original super match was called out for right-handed, right? It was Tom, Uncle John, and myself coming from you. Cool. Now, no big deal. And if I'm not mistaken, Tom was on the show saying, I've beaten this guy left hand, I've beaten that guy left hand, I've beaten Jody left hand. And I'm scratching my head going, stop the bus. And again, I'm not bashing Tom. These are the facts, right? So, yes, Tom beat me left-handed, and it was Hawthorne Kenny Bostic Memorial Tournament back in 2021, right? And yes, he beat me. Awesome guy. He was his first year in the sport. Strong dude, by the way. And he beat me.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that because here's the thing, man. And this some of these new players need to understand. You're not going to go through this sport unscathed, undefeated. So let's get that straight. There's going to be losses coming.
Yeah,
I've had my share of ass whoopings. I've also dished out my share of ass whoopings. So with that being said, yes, Tom Stubblebine, you did beat me left hand that day. But it's funny because not one goddamn time did he mention anything about the right hand, where in fact this whole super match thing is about the right hand.
Yep.
Didn't say anything about that. But I did respond on the Armus and Budge chat. I did respond to that. So, and I told him, and then he makes another video saying, well, yeah, but if you want to talk about something that happened 2 years ago, I've gotten better than that. Well, hasn't everybody got better 2 years ago?
We all get better.
Right. So I mean, I'm not trying to shed, shame on him, but it's like don't make it seem like you're the only person that got better in 2 years. Everybody else gets better too, you know? So that's how that came out. Paul Tyler says if you can draw in a lot of views and add value to your promotion, then it's justified. End of the day, organizer has to be the one to make the money in order for all the work out. You're absolutely right, Paul. You're absolutely right. And he also says, I believe this match has got a lot of eyes on it and has now the potential to bring in tons of views. You both are doing an amazing job in the promoting and hyping and staying up. Once again, thank you much. And, see, here's Grip and Rip, also another member of the Arm Wrestling Buzz. He says, the reality is right now, I have Tom, but he's more known as a YouTuber than he is an arm wrestler. And that may be true because I don't know how long he's been YouTubing, but when I caught eye, he shot up, boom. Now all of a sudden he has, all kind of views and stuff. And like I said, I don't hate on him for that. I mean, hell, the guy's been kicking ass, doing a good job. Yeah. My whole thing is that 1 minute you're saying, no, tournaments, next minute, oh yeah, well, it has to be this much money. And I think that's what Lachlan and Adair, those guys are trying to say. Yo, where did all this come from? Who have you beaten for you to even ask that kind of price? Now, right, Tom's going to have his fans. He's going to have people agree with him. Rightfully so. You're going to back your boy up. I don't have a problem with that. But, God, I wish he would come on this show. I gave him the link, but maybe he's at work. But my whole thing is that, come on, man, you're killing me. Now, tell me about, it may be behind the scenes, but didn't he challenge you on July 8th? And I think that's one of the locked and loaded, I think that's the South Regional from the World Series of Arm Wrestling. What we got?
Right. Yeah, he tried to challenge me July 8th, which, I mean, that, like I said, that date is not doable for me because I have a super match set up here in El Paso for the #1 overall arm wrestler here in El Paso against King Kong. He's a super heavyweight, 350 pounds. It's going to be really exciting. I'm doing a belt for the event, so it's going to be a belt for the right hand and a belt for the left hand. I hadn't announced it yet, but I'm announcing it here on the show. Whoever wins is going to have their name engraved on the belt and for years to come. So every time that somebody wins that title of overall #1 here in El Paso, they're going to have their name engraved on that belt. So it's about legacy for me. It's my 10th year anniversary. That's my contribution to El Paso arm wrestling. So that's what I had set up July 8th. So I can't make that date. And then, I called you out. I called Uncle John out. Uncle John accepted. You accepted. Monster started messaging us. So I was like, whoa, I got all excited. I was like, man, well, I'll drop almost anything for Jody. Like, let's do this, man. And I know you were busy on around that date. So, I mean, we kind of were like talking about, let's see if we can make it happen or not. So, I mean, that's kind of where I am right now with it. And Tom Stubblebine made a video that he was saying, all right, well, I'll compromise to about $750. And I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, we're not going above the $500 that we offered. And like, I don't even feel like he deserves $500 anymore either. Like, you accepted for $5 and Uncle John accepted for $5, and both of you guys has been on bigger promotions than him. So that's why I'm thinking like, what?
Right. Well, here's the thing. You got to remember too, Greg Brown's the one that's putting up the money.
Right.
Unless something's changed, he's the one putting up the money. So how are you going to sit there and try to say, well, it's got to be $750? Dude, let me answer this question of this statement. Arm Wrestling Showcase says, looking forward to seeing Freddy versus Tom match. Winner takes on the legendary Balkan.
I've already beat him.
And Paul Italia's cigar says, is Tom afraid of a possible loss? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and shed some light. When you've been in the sport as long as Freddie and myself, I just said, there's going to be losses you're going to have. That's just the way it is, right? Yep. I've taken my share of ass whoopings as you, and we've also dished out some ass whoopings. We both have. So it just comes with the territory.
Yeah, anybody who's never lost hasn't arm wrestled for real.
Well, I go a step further. If you're worried about losses, then maybe this ain't the sport for you because it's going to happen. We've all seen the great John Brzezinski and Michael Todd and Devin Larratt. They've all taken losses before. So to sit there and just, focus on wins and losses, like, dude, just pull. That's all, that's all we do. Now, when you said no, hey, I got a commitment, because another thing you got to realize when you're in the sport long as we have, we also have commitments that we keep and we're not going to break. And we also have to have our planets that line up like that, meaning our schedules, right? So July 8th, that's a date that's not open for you.
No.
Well, I'm at work last night, and Tom messaged me saying, "Hey, if you think you can beat me, I don't think you can." Left and right, 1,500. I'm thinking he must have found a sponsor because I never agreed at all to say, "Yeah, I will pull you." On his video, his latest one, he said I called him out after the little morning video I did. I don't recall me calling anybody out. I just said, "Look, you're the one calling people out," and then you go into Arm Wrestling Buzz, and then you backtrack. So I had to watch my own video this morning to make sure. Did I call him out? I didn't call him out, so I'm just trying to figure out where that came from.
He's being a snake right now. He's trying to get you now, and look at him, little snake. This guy is. I got to be careful with this guy. My goodness.
Paul Talia says, "Did they lock in the match with the lock and loaded? I heard the offers on the table. Make this match happen." Well,
We're gonna make it happen. We'll make it happen. It's just I can't do it July 8th. Like, he picked an impossible date for me, and I hope he doesn't turn it around and say I'm backing out. Like, I explained why I can't do it that date, but I'm more than happy to try to set up the match. Everybody wants to see it. So, but like I said, I'm also interested in a super match with you, Jody. Like, I mean, you have way more prestige, bro. That's just the way it is. That's just the facts. We're not talking shit.
Right. So what's today? Friday. So Wednesday, was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday when I saw that video you put out. And I get notifications. So I'm like, I'm up, I'm just laying down. And ding, phone goes off. Freddy Sanchez. Let's see what Freddy says. As I'm watching your video, I get a tagged by Michael Todd. Because it said Freddy Sanchez, Monster Factory and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, wow. So by the time I got done with it, I knew what Michael was saying. Called him up. We got the rapping and talking, all that kind of stuff. And, his next Monster Factory event would be September 16th, tentatively, because I know he's gotten some stuff going on over there at the factory where he's extending, making it bigger. And hopefully it'll be done by the September 16th show. Right now, for me, and before I get to that point, let's talk about dates. So July 8th doesn't work for you. July 8th doesn't work for me because we're busy men. I also run a foundation, the LOD Foundation, with my wife. We have a basketball camp we run on that week. Can't do it. And that's just what it is, So we got that going on.
Super match with you. I would love for it to be on the Monster Factory, man. Who doesn't want to pull on there? It's a great opportunity, and you won the last time. So it's like, man, you're the man right now. I would love a shot at that. I mean, I'm humbled to even be considered, by it. And then, I'm not trying to overstep my boundary either. I think I deserve that match. So, I mean, if I was 3 years into the sport, nobody knew me, I wouldn't be calling people out, which I never did. I've been arm wrestling for free 10 years, not calling anybody out, just doing my thing. I barely started my YouTube like a few months ago. So I'm starting to catch traction now that, I know I'm kind of have a good reputation in the sport, so I just want an opportunity. That's it. And
I appreciate that, because this match between you and I has to happen, needs to happen. At some point it will happen. It's just trying to get our dates and schedules lined up, because I'm gonna tell you this. It's all about opportunity, right?
Yes, sir.
Once you get the opportunity, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you 2021 was a good year for me, right? And it started in March of 2023. Do you remember the ROTN / Real Camera Guy?
Oh yeah.
That took place in Texas. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
So I got the opportunity, right, from one Paul Italia and Travis Bajan, and said, "Look, we want you on here. You've been kicking ass." I said, "Okay." So here's my thing. When I go out there, then it's like I got to do the best I can, because I may not get invited back. Okay. So I go there. It came down to me between me and Artem for the Widow Camera Guy. And that was a Friday night. Artem wins. I took second, left and right to him. Damn it, I wanted that. Cool, no big deal. The following day was the ROTN. Okay. Now, check this out, because there's only 3 weight classes. I'm gonna tell you a little story, and this will all make sense. 3 weight classes, right? Okay. My class was 211 and over. Think about that. 211 pounds and over. 27 dudes in that class.
Jeez.
We're talking Jonathan Breida, Russ Schrader, Herman Stevens, right? List goes on. Roger Learn, Wayne Withers. Do I need to keep going? Those were the names that are in that class. So out of the 27 guys, they're taking the top 8. So we're pulling like 4 matches. Some are grinders, some weren't. Now I just missed the cut because a few of us went 2-2, but the way that when you lost, it put you in a bracket and you won, and you couldn't quite make it up there. So I think I might have been 9th or 10th out of the 27 guys. So they took those 8, went to the other stage across the. It was in the big giant convention center. On one end you had that. Behind the curtain was the seminar. So on the big stage, that was the money. Okay, top 8 guys in the money. The remaining, and remember, we pulled 4 times already. The remaining 17 guys got reshuffled into a double elimination tournament. So that had Chance Shaw was in that one. I was in that one. And left hand, I took first.
Sheesh.
Right? So there's another one. That speared into the fact that, hey, there was another throwdown at the Foxhound up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was the 4-way between Chance Shaw, Mike Aiello, Don Underwood, and Jordan Seal.
I remember that one.
Yes. At that event, open class, left-handed, took second.
Damn.
So that was like, okay, I'm on that rocket ship now.
Yep.
Opportunity, you do your best, right? And of course, that carried over to the, Fallen Heroes, which carried over to IFA Worlds, yada, yada, yada. Now, opportunity, right? You got to go out there and do that. But you know, and I know, for all you youngsters on the show watching, even though you lose, you can still gain ground momentum even in a loss. If you go out there and show you can do it, then hey, they invited you. There's a reason why Neil Pickup and I were talking. He gave me a call. Hey, come on down. There's a reason why Michael Todd said, hey, we'll have to have you there. So
I tell all my guys, it's not about win or lose. It's about showing up. I always tell them, I go, showing up is the first win and the only win that you should be concerned about.
Now, check this out. Paul says, should do a 4-way round robin. Now, that's intriguing. That would be intriguing, I would imagine Uncle John would be the 4th guy, wouldn't he?
Okay, hell yeah, let's do it.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, Uncle John's right is not the best. So his right hand is not the best, but I'm just throwing it out there because it was said in the chat.
Right.
So again, you make the most of your opportunities. Now, Tom has done his stuff too. I think he did the locked and loaded last year. He took first place, won 1,500, whatever. So good. He's done that. Now, the lock and loaded, I'm also involved in, but I'm going to the qualifier in Salt Lake City, Utah. Actually, Roy, Utah, but it's a suburb of Salt Lake City. That is September 9th. This is where our conflict starts, because before that, or after that is when the Monster Factory, was it 5 now? I think we're on. I think the 5th one will be the weekend after. So from a financial standpoint, I cannot do back-to-back weekends, airfare to Salt Lake City, airfare to, Arkansas. I can't swing that. I can't. That's just, what it is. It might be feasible if it got pushed back to October maybe, but that's not my call. That's Michael's call. So the next one is December 16th, if I'm not mistaken. That'll be Monster Factory 6, I think. December 16th. So it could be possibly we should make that happen. But it could be that. Maybe a promoter says, hey, fuck it, come to this event, Fatal 4-way. Who knows? But I know July 8th doesn't work for you. July 8th doesn't work for me. September 16th at the Monster Factory doesn't work for me because I just don't financially have the backing to go back-to-back weekends. So
not just the financial thing, but you want to kind of be healed up. I think you told me you had a super match too that day or something like that.
I got Justin Green on the right hand. So it's kind of like, as much as I want to, I got to be smart, Gotta be smart.
That's where I'm coming from too. It's all about being smart because it's all about seizing the opportunities, like we were saying. Right?
Yeah, you got to seize the opportunity. Yes, I've talked to Michael and Rebecca. Yes, I got the green light to be on another Monster Factory. I don't know if it's the next one or the one after that. There's my sister, Miss Sarah Latona. Girlfriend, how you doing this morning? I have an opportunity to go back to Arm Wars, but I think the next one is August. Scheduling conflicts, right? Doesn't work for me either, And there's other commitments I have that I already committed to, and it just prevents me. So again, it's not that we're scared.
Oh man, my dog.
Dogs are in the house, man. Dogs are in the house.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're scared. So if Tom Stubblebine is watching instead of joining our show, know that we're not scared. But you also got to remember too that we got to line our schedules up. The planets got to align, and for you and I, Freddie, they will align. Whether it be later in the year, maybe beginning of next year, whatever the case may be, some way somehow we're going to make that happen. Now, if you watch the end of my video yesterday morning, I said, "Fuck it, Freddie, do your thing. You go your. If Tom's going to do all that, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, fuck it. You go your way. You focus on your journey. Tom can focus on his journey, focusing on tournaments because that's what he said he was going to do. He can focus on that.
Weird. It's weird because it's kind of hard to work with Tom, man. It's difficult right now. Like how you said, he said that he wants tournaments and he's not interested in super matches, but then there he is calling me out for money. He's calling you out for money. Like, wait, what are you trying to do? Like, Jody accepted the match with me, like me and Jody trying to make the super match happen, and then he tries to, tries to swoop in and take you for a super match, and it's like, hold on, wait a second, bro. That's a little bit snake-like. Like I don't know. It almost makes me think twice to work with this dude because it's weird. It's weird. It gives me a weird feeling with him. But I mean, people want to see the match, so I mean, and I'm down for it. He's the one that was saying that he would destroy my ego, fuck with my wrist like that. That shit didn't sit right with me. So got the whole ball rolling. Him opening his mouth.
Well, here's the thing, because honestly, and I'm gonna put you this way, Tom was not even on my radar. He wasn't. And like I said before, in my previous video yesterday morning, the only reason why this is a topic with me is because my name was attached to all that. And I'm fine with that.
Right.
But it's a respect thing. Your call out was more of, hey man, I want it, you're on my radar, I'd love to pull you. I'm cool with that because the way you approach the situation. And again, I'm not bashing Tom, but the way he did it was like your typical guy who's pretty much still new in the sport. This is how you get by. You talk shit, call somebody out, say they're fucking weak. You don't want none. Pay me X amount of money and I'll come out there. Like, dude, that's disrespectful to guys who've been in the sport for a long time.
Well, and also listen, the way he did it with me was he was saying, I'll destroy you, Freddie. You don't want none of this. I'll fuck with your wrist. And then the next week on the podcast, he says, oh, I never said that. Like, I never said, I don't want the super match. I don't want it. And that didn't sit right. And I'm just thinking, like, what the heck? And then 2 weeks later, he says, yeah, I want it, but for 1,500. I'm thinking, what the heck, this dude?
Right.
So tread lightly with Tom Stubblebine. But I mean, it makes for a good story, right? And people are invested in it, so I can't really knock him for that. And I'm all about it too. I'm all about the show, man. So I mean, it's cool, and I'm down to arm wrestle whoever, whenever. I just want the opportunity, like I said. But the opportunity with you is much greater in my eyes than than Tom or a tournament. In my eyes, this is the way it is for me.
We got 2 comments. One from Nicholas Adams said, could do a Texas State in Austin on September 23rd. Tournament is a $500 payout for pro class, first place in weight classes. Now, the reason why Texas people are talking, because now, as we know, Tom Stubblebine has moved from Nevada, and now he is in Texas, in the Austin area. Therefore, Nicholas Adams, there you go. Tom Stubblebine's in your neck of the woods. I know you're about 9 hours away, Freddie. You're like West Texas, damn near. You could throw a rock from El Paso to New Mexico. You're that far west of Texas. So maybe that's an event. I don't know what your schedule says then, but if you go to Monster Factory, that's the weekend before. But like I said, that's one of those things. Also, another comment. Nowhere to Run Arm Wrestling says, once the footage of Locked and Loaded is released, I think a lot of people will understand what these guys are saying about levels.
Yeah. I know Tom is good. I know he's a badass dude. I told him when I talked to him yesterday, I'm like, bro, you're a bad dude. It's there's a big chance that I can lose to you, bro. I'm not sitting here saying that I can just destroy you whenever I want. Like, I'd have to train my ass off. I'd have to be right at 100%. And that's why I'm saying, like, I gotta plan this right. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about planning it right. But I'm definitely in, and but like I said, I think that there's a lot more notoriety with Jody Williams, and I think everybody on here can agree with it. That's just facts. We've been paying our dues for over a decade. You have. You know, I've been doing it for 10 years, so I just we deserve it. We deserve it, and I'd love to make it happen. Which, man, you say you're all in, I'm all in, so let's make it happen.
Greg Brown TV is in the house. Greg, thanks for joining the show.
What up, Greg?
You know what's up, my friend? Isaac says, "Hey, now you got to stomp Tom. Now you got to take care of him."
What everybody's telling me.
Right. Couch Apple says, "Stubberline versus Chocolate Thunder, make the grudge match happen, bro." And
do you want that?
Well, you know what? Let me answer that question, because you got to remember that he was not on my radar. I like to plan things out months in advance, because one, it gives me a chance to train for it. And Tom was not even on my radar. Wasn't on my radar at all until this happened. And then he got on there. I've beaten these guys. I've beaten Jody Williams. I'm thinking, yay. And then once again, he has beaten. Oh, then by the way, let me add this. On his clapback video, he was saying, if you want to talk about old stuff that happened 2 years ago, let's talk about it. I'm like, you the one that brought it up.
Right?
You the one that brought that up.
The dude contradicts himself so much. It's ridiculous.
Because that's how the comment of, hey, that was 2 years ago. I was 1 year in the sport. Now I'm a lot better. I didn't bring that up. You brought that whole thing up about how you beat me, yada, yada, yada. My whole thing about this, and again, I'm not, throwing shade on him.
It's just facts. It's just facts.
It's just like this. These are the facts. You sat there.
We need that shirt.
I got some boys at 90% trying to make me a shirt, but that was like a fucking month and a half ago, but whatever. But
these are the facts.
Right. My thing is this. Hey, man, you the one that brought that up. Everybody in the Arm Wrestling Buzz heard you say it. Even guys who are down on the show on a weekly basis, like Mike Aiello, Lacadere, heard you say it. I beat this guy, beat that guy, beat that guy. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. So if you want to talk about 2 years ago, then tell the whole story. Don't just tell me the table of contents. Tell me the whole story. Don't just tell me the
That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do right now.
Right. Tell the whole story. So here's the deal, bro. If you're going to talk about that, and we're talking super matches right hand, then by all means, there's a missing piece of the puzzle. Oh, it's right here. Plug that bad boy in there and then go from there. I didn't bring that up. He did, not me. So that's how I feel about that. But again, it's not that I'm scared. It's just like, dude, I got his stuff got planned out. He was not on my radar to begin 2023. Will it happen down the road? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm kind of skeptic. And I'm going to tell everybody right now watching, I'm skeptic when guys go back and forth. They're like playing a tennis game, pickleball, ping pong, call it what you want. 1 minute, I'm Tom saying, no, I'm going to focus on tournaments. Then the other side of the net, I'm Thomas. What's up, 1,500? I can beat you left and right. Bro, I don't know which one. Am I talking to Tom or Thomas? Don't know am I talking to Tommy? I don't know. And again, I'm not fucking jealous of the guy. I'm not scared of the guy, but there's a certain way you got to do that, right?
No, and I actually have a certain respect for the guy, even though he doesn't have respect for anybody. He don't have respect for me. He don't have respect for you. It is, but I have respect for him because he's putting his name out there. He's making, waves. We're talking about it. Everybody's interested in it. So I mean, it's all fun. It's all fun and games for me. That's what arm wrestling is about for me. Having fun, showing up, doing the sport I love to do. I do this because of my dad. Me and my dad always grew up arm wrestling out of love. Just it wasn't about anything else. It was strictly about loving the sport. I remember about being 5 years old, watching Over the Top, and just falling in love with it. Like I just remember thinking, why is this not in school? Like, why is this not an elective for me? Like, Dad, like I need to get into the sport. And he was thinking, yeah, well, I used to do it in the 80s. I did about 4 tournaments and I placed in every single one of them. And nobody could beat me. He would tell me, he's like, I never lose. And so my goal was always to beat my dad. Like that was my main thing. Like every week I was like, Dad, all right, I'm ready for you. And I would lose. And then I would show up to school. I would challenge all the kids, all my cousins, all my friends. I beat them all. I would never lose. And then as soon as I would start getting older, I would start beating, my mom, my grandpa. I was just arm wrestling all the freaking time. And then I finally found arm wrestling for real here in El Paso through Mark Bettis here at West Texas Arm Sports. It was Mark Bettis and King Kong, Stephen King Kong, the guy that I'm going to have a super match with. July 8th. Those guys were the founders of West Texas Arm Sports. Thanks to them, arm wrestling is possible here in El Paso. And I got into it in 2013, my first tournament. I won first place in the teen division. I was 18 years old. And then I did the men's division. I got third place. So, and the rest is history after that. But like I said, I've been doing that out of love, everything out of pocket. I'm not in it to make money or anything else, or for the attention. Like Tom was trying to say, you're in it for the attention. Bro, I did this for 10 years without posting a single damn thing. Like,
Man,
so.
let me help you out with that. We've been in the sport so long, and I know for me and Irish Darby, you could address this, that when I got into the sport, the only person doing videos was one Gary Roberts.
Right.
And when he came to a tournament, that's when you put on your show, your A game, because you knew he was going to post that on what? On TV. And we had the message board. We didn't have none of that stuff that we got now. But now that social media's picked up, because the sport has evolved, right? Everyone's got a channel. You got a channel. I got a channel. Everyone has a channel.
Yeah.
We've evolved. So the sport's getting bigger.
It's
right?
evolved. Yeah.
Whether it be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, the sport has evolved.
And I'll tell you the main reason why I started posting my stuff, and this is no bullshit. Like I was always afraid or kind of, how can I say, like timid to post my stuff. I always thought, man, I'm looking way too fat. Like people are gonna judge me. I'm looking fat. Like nobody even likes the sport of arm wrestling. Like I always thought that I would be judged, So I was always kind of afraid to put my stuff out there. But then I started thinking to myself, like, hey, man, I'm pretty decent at this sport, and if I die tomorrow, nobody ever saw my shit. There is no
man.
Yeah, there is no tomorrow. I die and nobody ever witnessed what I did. It's never documented. For me, it's for the history books. Like my dad tells me that he did tournaments and he never got to post or see any videos. So he regrets like not having footage of when he used to arm wrestle. So I'm trying to change that. I'm like, you know what? I want my videos to be in the history books, so that way when I have kids or when people talk about me in the long run, they say, you know what? You can look him up and he actually did beat that guy, or he actually was #1 in El Paso, or stuff like that. So that's what I do. I don't do it out of attention, like Tom was trying to accuse me of saying, like, oh, he just wants attention, da da da. I mean, at some point, yeah, it is about promotion. It is about putting yourself out there, and you got to grind and let people know what you're made of. But like I said, for me, this is for the history books, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this comment, and then we got a lot of comments I want to catch up on. But I'm about to get real because I'm about to put my glasses on. So I'm gonna tell you how it's going down. So now, here's the thing: you are talking to a guy. This guy, 47 years old, right? So I'm almost 50, by the way. Okay. Now, when I get done with the sport, I want to look back and go,
that's awesome.
Hey, man, am I happy with what I've done? You know what? The glasses are coming off. Fuck it. Check this out. I am a guy who takes the sport as a hobby. I'm not one of the guys in Europe who live and breathe the sport. I mean, I do to a certain degree, but you got to remember, I'm a family guy, husband, father, uncle. I help my wife and the fielders run a foundation that we run for our son. Like, I'm a busy man, and I got a good job. I don't need money in the sport to help me float. I don't need that. If I happen to make money, that's a bonus. But I don't rely on arm wrestling like some of these guys do. I'm not saying Tom does, but the way his characteristics are, sounds like he does. Now, let's go ahead and get these comments going. Sister Sarah says, Jody, I'd love to see you and Freddy at the Monster Factory. Would be a great match. You both are awesome guys. Boom, there's one. How about this one?
Thank you, Sarah.
Hey.
Thank you, Sarah.
Isaac says, round robin, Jody, Freddy, Tom, Miguel. Boom, there's another one. Couch Apple says, Arm Buzz episode number 9, hard to get defensive when the whole podcast is poking fun at Tommy Boy. Tommy did that to himself.
Oh, he got nuked.
Irish Darby says, Tom Stubblebine is an arm wrestler. He's a glorified content thief, just like the clown from takes that clown from Arm Wrestling News. So, again, you got to go. And here's another one. The issue occurred when where did Tom, what was that? Derive the 1500 from, because he's still relatively unknown. So, hey. Oh, okay. I see what he's trying to say. Like, you're still unknown. Who are you to sit there and say, hey, 1500? I think that's what he says. If I said that wrong, Apple, correct me by all means, So again, that's how I look at it, because again, and I'll go a step further. So You and I were talking about this long before this call out even happened, by the way. So let me shed some light, everybody, on the show. Freddy Sanchez and myself were actually kind of talking behind the scenes before that thing came out. So I was like, okay. And the way you approached me, very respectful. Thank you very much for that. Now, prior to that, there's this tournament, Arizona State Championships, right? July 15th. Well, here we go. It's the weekend after July 8th, your event. Now, the thing is, though, I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, so
or else I would have been there. I mean, yeah, my face is on the poster. I get all that. My vacation plans were already made back in February. So I'm going on vacation. The funny thing about that is the fact that, okay, well, guess what? My vacation with my family, that includes wife, son, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, niece, and her boyfriend, my nephew, and his girlfriend, all going to Phoenix, Arizona, where the goddamn Arizona State Championship tournament is. We're going to be in the same goddamn city, and, we're on vacation. But I don't want my family sitting there watching me or waiting on me to go to this tournament while they either sit on the sidelines or, hey, babe, you go have fun at your tournament.
It's really an all-day thing.
Right. You go have fun at your event. We're going to go see Grand Canyon.
Right.
Yeah. But again, this was already made months in advance. That's how we do things in the Williams household. So I talked to Tim Talmadge, Arm Sports Entertainment. I'm part of that, by the way, Arm Sports Entertainment. Sister Sarah, part of Arm Sports Entertainment. Now, normally when they have events, but I just told him, hey, I can't do it, this, that, and the other. So again, he said, hey, before I said no, how about you and Freddie just have it at my event? That would have been feasible. I'm sure Arizona's not that far from you, and I just got to fly down south.
Who asked that? Tim Talmadge?
Yes. But this is before I knew about your July 8th match.
Okay.
But he said, just have it at, I told him, hey, man, Freddy Sanchez wants a match. And I was kind of like, But he was like, have it at my event. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm on vacation, man, But, that's neither here nor there. But again, scheduling conflicts, things got to be aligned, Sarah says she wants to see both of us at the Monster Factory. Right. I get it. Might not be at the next one unless I hit the lottery.
I do too.
Unless I fucking somehow hit the lottery, or somebody with a wand says, look, I'll grant you some funds to go down there, blah, 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 blah. It may have to happen at the one down the road. But do you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Schmo said,
no, I mean, I understand, bro. Like you're
the Schmo was talking to a comment that Couch Apple said. Couch, nobody needs to justify anything, unknown or not. Nobody needs to pull anybody if they don't want to. If he says he wants 20K, it's whatever. Now, I'll say this, and I understand because I love to hear the people's opinion and stuff, but who made the rule that we have to pull these people? Like, who made the rule that, Tom has to pull you? Who made the rule that, you have to pull me? And who made the rule I have to pull Tom? These are just suggestions by everybody. And don't get me wrong, I saw a couple of them, but I'm kind of going, I like the fact that, hey, how about Freddy Sanchez and Chocolate Thunder? That would be option number one at the Monster Factory. I like the fact that there's a fatal four-way. I think Paul said, hey, get Tom, Freddie, Jody, Uncle John. Somebody said Tom, Freddie, Miguel. I'm liking what I see out of it, because there's a certain fine line when you say give the people what they want, But again, what gets me is the fact that, do I trust myself to put myself in a situation where, okay, I don't want nobody flaking out. What is this guy going to do? Well, I need this much money. I'm like, dude, yeah, you beat me, but I'm not an elite puller. Now, if you want to sit there and try to get clout, we can clout. But I'm going to tell you right now, you, my friend, Tom, and I'm going to say I'm not bashing because I don't want him watching this and then taking snippets saying I'm trash talking when I wasn't, because already he's saying I'm calling him out. I never said that at all. Now, I'll say this, though. It makes it very difficult.
He's quick with the YouTube. Be careful.
He can be quick all he wants to. I'm quick on the table. Now what? Whatever. Now, as I was saying, though, it makes it very hard. I'm just saying, man, go look at the match. These are the facts. Go look at the match. Go look at the match. I think Arm Tube was
Right,
there.
right,
Go
right.
look
No,
at the
no,
match.
no.
Yeah. So, the thing is though, is that
I
I'm
mean,
not
I'm a little bit faster, but that's okay.
you know. But again, we've all gotten better from 2 years ago. Hell, we've all gotten better 1 year ago. So, it goes back to
Of
what I said
course, of
earlier in the show.
course.
Everybody, no one just takes time off unless it's an injury or hey, family stuff gets in the way or work gets in the way. We take that kind of time off, but it's not like,
Yeah.
hey, and what's
Yep.
this fake daddy he's calling himself? What's that about? Remember he was saying
Oh,
fake
so
daddy
I
or
mean,
something like that.
people claim that
Whoa.
he's yeah. Yeah, yeah. So people claim that he's on roids. I mean, you look at the dude and he's a freakazoid. Like, you're like, what the hell? This dude is super jacked. So naturally, people say he's on roids. And he says no. He says he's clean as a whistle. He's like, I'm clean, bro. I don't take nothing. I wonder if he takes creatine. He probably doesn't. He's probably just all protein, chicken, water, and rice. That's what he says, right? So people start calling him a fake natty. You're like, nah, bro, you're a fake natural. Like you're claiming natural, that's fake. So that's where the whole fake natty thing comes from. And I guess he was kind of just playing into that character, like, oh, I'm just a fake natty guy. So I mean, I don't know if
Right.
he's natural or not. I really don't care. I'm natural for real though. I mean, everybody could kind of see that, right? They always say, "Hey, Freddy, man, you look like just a random dude on the street, and you're out here whooping these huge 20-inch bicep dudes. Like, what's up with that? How do you do that?" I'm just like,
There
I
you
don't know,
go.
man.
I
I've
like
been
that.
doing it all my whole life, man. I tell you, I've been arm wrestling my dad since I was 5 years old.
Well, here, I'll put another one out
Yep.
there, and everybody in the chat, feel free to chime in. Who in the world said you had to be a bodybuilder or look like one to be able to compete? I'm whooping ass, and I'm 47 years old, right? Low testosterone, whooping ass. Think about that for a second. I don't do TRT because I'm afraid. I'm real
Yep.
wary about what I put in my body anyway. Yeah, I've done that fits. If you want to call that, fine, whatever. But I don't do the creatine. Not fit. That's about all I put in my body until I run out. Then I just don't. But that's what I do. Low T right
Right.
here. Not a lot of guys will sit there and admit that to the whole world, but guess what? I am.
Yep.
Low T, hanging with some of these youngsters, and that's just what it is. So yeah, if
You're
somebody's real
impressive,
confident,
bro. No,
what's that?
I wish that I could be like you at 47. I said, you're impressive, bro. I said, if I can be at 47, I'd be blessed, bro. I mean, I'm 28. So that's almost, 20 years from now? My goodness.
Dude, my
I could still
oldest
be
kid is
rocking and
25.
rolling with everybody 20 years from now.
My oldest
Huh?
kid, my daughter, is 25, just to kind of let you know. So that's so yeah.
Oh,
So I mean,
wow.
I'm
That's
that
awesome,
upper
man.
echelon,
That's a blessing. Hey,
So
I'm losing
again,
you a little bit, Jody. You're lagging here, like in and out. You're kind of lagging. Do you get me kind of clear, or am I lagging at all?
I think you're lagging, but you're kind of like doing a robot,
I-
But anyway, can
I'm
you still
lagging
hear
a
me
little
though?
bit. Let me see.
Just
Let
a
me
little bit.
see. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Damn it, Freddie. Here, while he's trying to fix his stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and there you go. There you go. I was gonna keep going, but yeah,
Okay.
you back now. We good. But I was saying,
All right. Hopefully that helps.
yeah, and Tom was the bigger guy now than he was then. So, I'm thinking,
Yep.
okay, now I'm not gonna sit there and claim he's on something, but he's a little big. He spends his time in the gym. I don't spend 24/7 in the gym. I really don't. I got too much going on in my life.
Me
I
neither.
train.
Me neither.
I don't
And
have
that,
like the team like other people where they got 15, 20 dudes. I don't have that. I don't have the time of day to go in the gym. My gym is in my garage, actually. I got my handles, my pulley system, I got weights. I do my stuff there, and I got my team coming over on Saturdays or Sundays, and we go ahead and we get after it, But also, family man, I'm a supervisor at my job. So when I'm on call, I got to take care of stuff. I do long hours. So yeah, I mean, I try to balance things as much as I can possible. You know what I mean? So
I'm the
again, this
same
goes
way.
back to like, right, you understand that. So I
Yeah.
don't know what
I mean,
Tom goes through
I
with
don't
it.
have all the kids and all the family stuff like you, but I mean, I have my own stuff going on all the time. I mean, granted, I could be way more obsessed about the sport, like grinding day in, day out. Imagine if we were on that grind, like for real, my goodness,
Right.
like it's a full-time job, really.
It
Like
is.
if you want to be a high-level pro, it's really a full-time job. Like it's got to be on your mind all the time. So, I mean, yeah, my respects to every single arm wrestler out there trying to make it, because I know what it is. I know the grind. Like, like people don't necessarily know the grind. They just want to see the results. So,
Not to mention, I got not one, but I got 2 kids in college. So
yeah.
you know, every now and then my wife will get that call. Hey, mom, dad, I might need some cat. I got one son here. My oldest son, he's in college here in town. My daughter's in graduate. She's getting her master's down there in Long Beach. So hey, like, okay, how that happens. But again, and
Yeah.
like I said, everything has to be aligned,
No,
and I
yeah,
like the
like
next
I've even had some guys on my team tell me, well, because I tell them, you got to make every tournament, man. You got to make the tournaments here in El Paso. You got to make the tournaments in New Mexico. That's how I, kind of started up in the sport, just trying to hit up every tournament I could locally. And they tell me, oh, it's because I can't get off of work, man. Not everybody's lucky like you, Freddie. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm sorry that, I'm blessed, and I'm able to make opportunities happen for myself. But, not everybody can make opportunities happen, or if you want it bad enough, you make it happen. That's the way I see it. So,
right.
but I totally get life gets in the way. It happens all the time. Life gets in the way, and not everybody is blessed enough as some people, to go all in on arm wrestling. I hear you're saying these European guys make it a career. That they're actually
Yeah.
getting paid by their government to be an athlete in arm wrestling, which is awesome. Here in America, it's not even a recognized sport. Like, how many times do I say, like, hey, I'm a pro arm wrestler, and they look at me with these bug eyes, like, what? Like that, kind of like a joke, like, are you serious? Like, is that even a thing? Have you seen the slap thing? And I'm like, that is the most disrespectful thing you could tell me.
Talking about that
Like, do
slap
not bring
boxing.
that shit up, bro. Like, it's just like, you don't even compare those two things. Like, arm wrestling is such a beautiful sport. Like, the technique, the skill, the power, like the speed, like the agility, the coordination that you need. Like, to me, arm wrestling is the ultimate sport. Like, even better than boxing and UFC, in my opinion, because you don't get the brain damage.
Right.
You could do it for years and years and years, and it's still a competitive combat sport. So for me, arm wrestling is the ultimate sport, and people just don't recognize it here in the U.S. And it kind of just ticks me off, man. Like, people in Mexico take it even a little bit more serious. So I mean, what do we need to do to change that here? Like, damn.
So I got my phone right here.
Yeah.
Paul Stevens in the house. What's up? World's strongest man's in the house.
What's up, Paul Stevens?
Carl Stanley's in the house. Check this
What's
out.
up, Carl Stanley? Holy moly.
You got your phone next to you, Freddie?
Well, that's what I'm recording with.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna read you something. This is from Tom. This was from last night. This was from no, actually, yeah, yesterday afternoon. I work swing shift, so I didn't catch this till late. Tom Stubblebine. Again, guys, these are the facts. These are the facts. July 8th, locked and loaded, Texas. We can have a super match right and left. If you think you can still beat me, I don't think you can. Talk to the promoters and we can make it happen. Now, did that happen to you too, though?
Yeah. Yep.
And this is the same guy. Just want to make sure. Tom Stubblebine, it's almost like he's pasted and copied to both of us. But this is the same guy that also said on the show, hey, I'm not interested in super matches. I'm going to go ahead and focus on tournaments.
See, now that he saw the opportunity that I have with you, now he's trying to capture or steal my opportunity with you. But I mean, it's fine, it's all fair game. It's not really like you're exclusive now, or me and you, this and that. I mean, you're a man of respect, and like I am
right.
too. I love the shit talk, but on the table, Freddie, right on the business side or as a person is completely different from Freddie on the table. And I know you're the same way. I know you're the same way. Jody Williams and Chocolate Thunder, kind of two different guys, but you got to be able to kind of distinguish it. You got to be able to separate it when it's time, and like me, I came out of respect, challenging you, it wasn't out of disrespect. And I think Tom kind of took a separate route. for you, you know, he's like, well, I beat Jody, and then, well, Freddie, I'll smash you, this and that. And it's kind of like, whoa, all right, well, that's cool. We can respond to the call out. We're ready whenever we want to be ready. But I don't know. Do you want the match with him, or do you want the match with me? I want to hear
I
it.
already made it clear on the air in front of everybody. You know, my option number one, you and me. End of period. Now, if Tom wants to sit there and, you know, try to weasel his way in and make it a 4-way or a 3-way, I don't know. I mean, I guess whatever. But again, he was not on my radar. This is how I see it. You tell me if I'm wrong, okay? And once again, at the 1 hour mark, I got to say, I'm not bashing him just in case somebody tries to take a couple snippets and create their own story. Because I guarantee you at some point today, if you go on his YouTube, he's going to do something.
You got to tread lightly. You got to tread lightly with this.
Yeah, but you know what? I tread with the facts. Now then.
That's right.
Here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not give him the opportunity? And Greg Brown, if you're still in the chat, you can go ahead and vouch for this. The situation was, hey, $500. Greg Brown said himself, I will put up the $500. Freddie, don't worry about the $500. I got it. Tom, don't worry about the $500. I got it. Which means no money is coming out of either pocket because Tom said I have to make money. Or Tommy or Thomas, whoever you want to call him at this point. He said, I got to make money too. You got to make money too.
Absolutely.
Oh, there, Greg. All right, Greg's back. Okay. So
what up, Greg?
You're still making money. How are you not making money?
We gave him the opportunity. We gave him the opportunity, like on a silver platter, you know, because like
on 2 occasions, did you not?
On two occasions, and then he wants me to keep giving opportunity. And it's like, what the heck, man? You're making it so difficult. Like, we gave him the opportunity on a silver platter. The reason why was because, like I said, I saw it as an opportunity and an invite. You know, granted, people think that I'm a better arm wrestler, and you know, I think I do have the statistics to back it up that I'm a better arm wrestler than Tom. I beat people that he loses to. Like, I beat Eric Wolf, I beat Carl Gerke. He's lost to those guys, you know, and those type of guys have even told me like, oh yeah, you're better, bro, you're better. And I mean, I'm not really claiming that I'm better, but my stats say that I'm better, right? So, but anyways, he has the views, you know, he had a good YouTube. He's a hardworking dude. He's a rising cooler. So I was thinking, well, you know, we can make this opportunity happen. He claims that he's #1 in Nevada. That's intriguing to me. So let me do a call out. Since he called me out, you know, he was talking shit about me. So I was like, well, let me call him out. Let's make it happen. It'll be cool. I call him out. He wants nothing to do with it. And I'm like, okay, well, oh well, you know, moving on. You know, next opportunity, next tournament, next super match. Like, let's go. It's what I do. And then, you know, and then he switches up and says he wants money and he wants to put up his stipulations. You know, you want the match bad enough? I'm like, I don't want the match bad enough. I offered you the match for $500 and now you don't take it. And then now you're trying to switch it back on me and saying, well, you want the match bad enough. You want the attention. Come get it. And I'm thinking, what? Like, what are you talking about?
This is house money, not his money.
Right.
Not your money. This is house money. Sorry, Greg Brown. I didn't mean to say it like house money, but what I meant to say was that this is money that's coming out of nobody's pocket.
Right.
So how are you going to sit there and go, oh, well, if it's going to be me, I got to have that.
And then, like I said, you were willing to take that match. You said yes right away. You're like, I just got to make it happen with my schedule. Uncle John, same thing. He said, well, you know what? Hit up my line. You know, just tell me when you want it and we can make it happen. You guys accepted right away, and you guys have more notoriety than him. You know, you guys been on Arm Wars, you've been on Monster Factory. I mean, that's just the facts, and you guys accepted, and he didn't accept, and he was saying 1,500, and that's where he caught the heat. That's where he really got people talking to him, saying like, well, who the hell are you, man? So I mean, he kind of did it to himself, and that's just the way it went.
Old school, Paul Stevens, OG like myself. I'll supermatch for free because I'm here for the love of this competition.
That's what we all do. That's what we all do, right? That's what we pull tournaments for a T-shirt. That's what we are. That's what our arm wrestlers do.
Right. And
I didn't win. Yeah. I didn't win nothing at Colorado State. I didn't win nothing at Colorado State, and I pulled the pro class. It was listed as pro class. And I was like, okay, I showed up. I paid up more money than the amateur guys. I won the super match. They gave me a shirt. They said congratulations. They gave me a medal, and I was like, all right, well, was there any money? Because it said pro class, and
Right.
I mean, I don't want to bad talk, but Corey Miller was like, well, we don't have money. It's gonna roll over till next year, and I was like, well, you know what? It's all right. I came for the opportunity. And that's where it all started. That's when I started my YouTube channel, when I won Colorado State, because I decided to vlog it. So, I mean, granted, I didn't win money, but I won respect, and people got to see that, I went to Colorado State, a big tournament that had 310
Right.
entries, and I won my weight class. I won the 242 weight class. And like I said, it wasn't really about money. I could have been ticked off and really been upset about, whoa, I didn't get my money, this and that. But you know what? I didn't. I just took my t-shirt. I freaking had a good time out there. I took pictures. I hiked, and it was a hell of a time. And that's what us arm wrestlers are about.
I'm gonna ask a question. I feel weird about this, and everybody in the chat, once again, feel free to chime in. You made a comment about Uncle John and myself where you said, you guys earned that. You guys been to Monster Factory. You guys been to Arm Wars. You've earned that. Now, when you deal with Uncle John, because he's even said so himself, hey, if I'm coming to MC your event, if I'm coming to your tournament and your whatever, he tells you, here's my fee. Uncle John, he's earned that right.
Yeah, he's a professional. He is.
I feel weird saying that kind of stuff. That's why you never hear me say that.
Right.
Because I feel weird when, if we got promoters on here, Paul Talia, Greg Brown, for example, and I say, hey, can you put up money against, for me and Freddie? I feel awkward and weird saying that.
I do too. I've always been an old school guy. I'm like, I put up money, you put up money. And that's exactly what I told Tom. I was like, well, you know what? I'm willing to put up the money if you're willing to put up the money, the $1,500. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll scramble, I'll get the money. I'm like, but I got to know that if I win, I'm getting back the money that I'm putting up. And I've always done that. This is the first time that somebody like, Greg Brown offers $500 to one of my matches. All my other matches, I put up my own money. And that's the way I've always done it. But if I put up my money, you got to put up your money too. That's just
right.
The way it works.
And you're very fortunate to have Greg Brown in your corner for that kind of stuff.
Right.
With me, I've gone, like I said, been in sport for a while. There was a weekend where I lost $1,000 in a super match in front of my entire family, kids included.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost 3-0. That fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But there was another weekend where I won $1,000. But that was so early. That was like, early in my career. As you get older, you get a little wiser. And I'm not that guy. I'm not in people's price range. What I mean by that is that if Tom says, hey, $1,000, $1,500, I'm not going to do that. Fuck's wrong with you, man? Like, I'm not one of these young, I got responsibilities. As far as I know, he's not married. He ain't got no kids. He doesn't have to worry about that shit. I do. Like I said, I got two kids right now. My wife and I are putting through college. I don't want to hear no shit about no fucking $1,500 I got to put up. Excuse my language, but he can go fuck himself if that's the case. Fuck that. I ain't doing all that. Because, again, it's weird for me to say, hey, man, if I'm coming out there, you got to pay me that. That is so weird to me. I can't speak for everybody else, but it's weird for me. Uncle John has earned that moniker. He does an awesome job on the mic.
Yeah.
He brings the presence because we all see him on Arm. He's been to Arm Walls like he's been to Arm Walls 3 separate times.
Yep.
He was there at Arm Wars Reality Check, which is almost 2 years ago. He went to Arm Wars Iron House 1 and 2. Okay. I've been to Iron House 3, and they're going to start releasing those videos at some point very soon on Fridays. So the thing is,
and Uncle John, he has like 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like his YouTube is freaking awesome. And when I challenged him, he right away sent me a link to Arm Gods. He said, "Oh yeah, go ahead, book the match on Arm Gods." And I'm all thinking, "Wait, what? I can book a match like that?" And so I went on Arm Gods. I made my profile, Freddy Sanchez, and I started going. I went into Uncle John's profile. He has his whole layout set up. Like he has his prices for MC, for a super match, for everything. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know this was a thing. Like Arm Gods has it set up, like real professional. Huh?
He's my man is global.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he at Arm Gods and won his match. So, and you got Uncle John. If you look at Uncle John, He's not a Greek god. He's not built out of, granite. He's been
Right.
whooping fucking strongman, 280, 300-pound strongman, and he's fucking busting wrists back. He's done that. So he's
Yeah.
earned that kind of thing,
He has. And Uncle John is the type of guy to arm wrestle anybody, no matter what weight class, right? So he's arm wrestling like super heavyweights, like you said. He don't care. And like when I challenged him, he right away said, "Oh yeah, go ahead, book the match. I'm ready, man." He didn't sit there and tell me like, "Nah, well, this is my price and $2,000 or 1,000, whatever." And I was no, he right away accepted. He said, "Just book it on Arm Gods." And I looked it up and I was like, "Wow, okay, this is super professional. This is super cool." I didn't even know that Arm Gods had it set up like that. So if any
Yeah.
of you guys don't know, you guys can go into Arm Gods, look up any athlete that's in there, and you guys can book a match with them, and they tell you all their stipulations and stuff like that. It's real professional. I was impressed.
Yeah. This is why I love the people in the chat. I love them. Grizzly Iron Fist, $2,000 right hand match. Jody, bring it. Laugh out loud. We both have money to throw away. And again, I don't take myself so seriously. I don't.
Right.
It's
Right.
not
You
that
can't.
serious.
You can't. You really can't in this sport. It's all for the fun. That's what I tell people.
All right. Christian Green Golf. Dude definitely ain't married. Looks like he should be in Utah building barns and furniture. That's right. Tom Stubblebine, we know you're watching. And like I said, and here's the thing. I mean, Tom, I sent you the link, my man. I did. And I'm trying to be respectful because I wanted him on the show. And if anybody's been on here since the beginning, I didn't bash Tom. I just sat there and told the facts, not shit talking, but this is stuff he created. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you something for everybody over here because this is something that's work related, but I'm going to go ahead because I work with, at-risk youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sent me this and it says, don't play the victim to circumstances you created. See that?
That's beautiful. Yep.
Don't play the victim to circumstances you created.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if Tom is doing that, there you go. Don't play the victim role, bro. I'm not calling you names. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just like trying to, and the reason why I want to have on the show so we can iron this whole thing out. Because at the end of the day, I still don't know if you're pulling him or not because he's saying one thing and then he'll message you something else. So I still don't know. All I know is that July 8th, you're a busy man. July 8th, I'm a busy man. And I told him that. Now, I don't know if some other date came up to mind, the 22nd or whatever the fuck it was. So at the end of the day, are y'all pulling at the end of the month or next month or, August? I don't know. What is the thing with you guys?
He wanted to try to get a match also. So when I told him that July 8th wouldn't work for me, he said, well, July 29th. Let's make it happen July 29th. I'm like, well, I think that's a little bit close to the super match after July 8th. I'm like, I have to make sure everything works out. Because, I've been in this sport long enough to know that once you start stacking matches, you start stacking tournaments, it's not the smart thing to do because you get in one little grinder, you get one little tweak, and arm wrestling injuries aren't like muscle injuries, okay? They don't take 2 weeks to heal, 3 weeks to heal. It takes months sometimes, even years sometimes. So you kind of got to play it right, and especially like me, I got a lot of miles on my arms. Like I know I'm young, I'm 28, but I got a lot of miles on my arms, man. So I got a bunch of, I got a bunch, I'm working, I'm working out, but I'm hurting. Like my left wrist right here, always constantly hurting. My right elbow, that's why I got therapy done. So I get therapy almost every week. I get soft tissue therapy. They take me up. I'm always hurting on those tendons. So one hard pull. I'm still super sore from the Miguel match. I tell people that I'm super sore from the Miguel match and I can't arm wrestle dudes at the club like going hard, and they're like, really? It's been 5 weeks, bro. That's freaking insane. Like how you're still not healed up from that. And I'm like, bro, it takes me like about 2 months to heal minimum from like a super hard match like that. That's just me. And like I said, I'm all natural. I probably don't eat the way I should be eating,
No, I don't. My wife's a hell of a cook, so I know for a fact I don't. But I tell you this though, for those that don't know, go on Freddy Sanchez's and I forgot to put your channel in the link. My fault. Go on there and watch the Miguel match because I'm telling you right now, without giving away the results, the one thing I will say is that it went the distance. Best of 5, it went the distance. And it was a match because there were so many restarts for one,
Oh,
and
we
they're all
pulled like
grinders.
7-8 rounds.
Yeah, so I know what you mean by saying I'm still sore. That was 5 weeks ago. I understand that. I do. Um,
Yep.
but again, I don't know where Tom stands at. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been on the
So
show for like an hour 14, and we still don't know if he's still going to pull or
so
what.
this is
So
what this is what happened back to the day he told me July 29th, bro. July 29th, let's make it happen. And I'm like, well, you know what? I go 3 weeks is not enough. I go, I have to get past the July 8th super match. Once I get past the July 8th super match, I'll know if 3 weeks is enough for me to heal. And sometimes it's not. Like I said, look, I'm still super sore from the Miguel match. 5 weeks later, going on 6 weeks, I'm still super sore. Like right now, I would not pull anybody for any money. No way. I wouldn't do tournaments either. That's why I'm not doing New Mexico State either, because I'm just so dang banged up. Like
right,
I know I'll recover. I know my body. It usually takes like about 2 months. So around 8 week mark is around the sweet spot. So I'm thinking about 2 weeks from now, I'll start, being able to train hard, whipping some guys at practice. But as of right now, I go real slow and I'm like, yo, don't pin me yet. I can't pin because my tendon is still hurting real freaking bad from that Miguel match. I got in all types of angles. I went all out right there. And, if that happens July 8th and I'm booking a match July 29th with Tom,
yeah,
I cannot book that match July 29th if I have a war July 8th. It doesn't make sense for me, physically. I know my body. Like I said, I have a lot of miles on my arms and I just have to be careful. So, he's trying to pressure me to do that match now. At first, he said he didn't want the super match, and now he's pressuring me like a dog. He's like, all right, well, let's do it here. Let's do it here. And then, if I tell him, well, I'm not necessarily going to sign a contract to do it that day. He's going to try to say I back out or something. Hopefully not. But, you know how it goes, Jody.
oh, I
We need,
know. In
yeah.
fact, check this out. In fact, like I said before, I like to plan stuff in advance. Well, I told you why September 16th won't work at the Monster Factory because I have a match the weekend before in Salt Lake City, Utah, Roy,
Right.
Utah. Well, guess
Mm-hmm.
what? My opponent just happened to come in the chat. Justin Green, my friend, what's up? So the thing is, though, is that me and Justin got this relationship. This match is 10 years in the making because my first ever meaningful super match was
Wow.
against Justin Green. And it was
Nice.
for money. And I told him, I was like, look, man, if I lose to you, not only do you get my money, but I tell you what, I will buy you and your wife a drink.
Nice.
Man of my word, I lost. I bought him and his lovely wife a drink. We've been friends ever since. We haven't, we keep, in contact over social media and stuff like that and on the phone and stuff. But that's a commitment him and I had a long time ago. So, like I said, I like to commit my stuff a long time in advance. That way, hey, I got time to train. He has time to train. We're gonna go down there, locked and loaded, World Series, the North qualifier in out of Salt Lake City. That's a commitment I got. That's a commitment I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna keep it. That's just the way I am because, if it's you and me, Freddie, have a match down the road, I'm gonna make sure whenever you and I settle on a date and it works for both of us, okay, fuck everything else. Like right now, I'm not pulling nothing meaningful until September. I
Right.
got my own tournament coming up June 24th. It's more of I have a match left and right, but it's a foundation tournament. So I'm just gonna throw it out there and hey, it's for the foundation. It's all good,
Yeah,
no
I mean,
big
you gotta
deal.
stay busy, right? Like, especially as months pass by, you gotta kind of stay sharp. Do some tournaments, pick and choose them though smartly. You know, because you got a one hard match. You pull a really good dude, and you're trashed for a few weeks. A few months. So I know how that goes. The more miles you get on your arm, the more it goes. And that's what I told Tom, and he didn't understand. He's like, no, well, I'm not worried about that. I'm like, well, aren't you pulling a tournament July 8th also? And he's like, I'm not worried about that. He's like, I'm gonna come out clean. I'm gonna survive. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay, the confidence on this kid. I'm like, but it's whatever.
So Carl Stanley asked me, Monster Factory 5, Jody, are you going? As of now, it is slated for September 16th. I can't do it because I already had a match the previous weekend, September 9th in Roy, Utah, with one Justin Green. So I will not be at that one. if we can, if for some reason Monster Factory got pushed back to October because again, Michael Todd's getting some stuff done on his property, he's going to extend and make the Monster Factory bigger, square footage wise. He says if it's not done in time, maybe he might push it back to October. That might be feasible for me. We'll see how things go. December 16th is always an opportunity because that'll be number 6, I believe. So
I'm gonna try to keep my book open September, October, November.
Hey, Freddy, you want to hear something funny?
What's up?
This is my boy Justin Green because I love the guy so much. Yeah. Speaking of Tom Stubblebine, Justin Green says, I smashed Tom after I tore my tendons in my elbow pulling Eric Wolf in the tournament. Mic drop.
Hey. Wow, Justin Green, he's a bad dude. After a tendon tear, I tell you, nobody comes out clean sometimes. Like, nobody comes out clean from super matches, from tournaments. So you got to be smart about it. Like, you can't be booking a bunch of tournaments or a bunch of super matches and not think that you're going to come out clean out of all of them.
Oh, hold on. Hey, Justin, answer me this because I'm starting to put the pieces together because Greg Sharp came to my house a few weekends ago and we shot a promo for the, Locked and Loaded event. So, Justin, answer me this. Was that when you beat Tom, was that at the Locked and Loaded event? Because Greg Sharp was telling me how you hurt yourself and you're still beating people. Was that event? Because if that's the case, and Tom's like, oh, yeah, I beat Jody Smith and won $1,500. I'm thinking, who else did you pull, And I remember Greg Sharp telling me that, hey, Justin Green was kicking ass, injured and all, and you just said you beat Tom with a,
Mr. Green sounds like a bad dude. He sounds
dude. Let me tell you something.
He sounds like a bad dude. Good luck with him.
Y'all may not know him. I know him, but y'all may not. He's like, I don't know what's going on in Utah, but here, why I'm taking this match so seriously. Look who he trains with: Bob Brown, Jordan Seal, Robert Baxter, Cody Merritt, Casey Allen. This goes on and on, right?
World class.
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
Dudes,
When Craig Toulier was living there for a couple of years for work, he was part of that group,
Dang.
Justin Green says, no, it was here in Utah at the Brazilian Cup. Oh, yeah. There you go. Go look at the Brazilian Cup. If he's there, get some footage. There you go. So, anyway, my man, we've been on here. Greg Brown says, Jody, can we pull just for fun? Hey, if we can meet somewhere, if I'm at a tournament, you're in earshot distance, there you go. We can do that. But hey, once again, we've been on the show for 1 hour and 22 minutes, and I think we've regurgitated everything we need to say. Tom wasn't available, so hopefully Tom will watch the show and not take snippets and create his own little spin on that, because then that'll piss me off because I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to have to fucking clap back on that dude. So like, man.
So now he's going to do it even more.
Well, yeah, because on his clapback video, he said I called him out. I never did that. Never once called him out, Yes, Justin, I'll give you a call as soon as we get done here. So, yeah, man, here's the thing about doing it. If you're trying to get a name for yourself in the sport, there's a way to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep.
The way he's doing it, like I said, old school players like you and I, Paul Stevens, Justin Green, we've been around the block. There's a way to handle that. There's a way to do that kind of stuff. It's a slap in our faces when you got these young guns coming in here, still wet behind the ears thinking, I'm just trash talking, hey, if you want to pull me, it has to be this much. Excuse my language, but this is my show when I say you go fuck yourself, because that ain't how that go.
I mean, you can trash talk, but you better back it up and you better be ready to pull. You can't pull out some unreasonable stipulations like that. It don't make sense. But Jody, I mean, it's a pleasure talking to you, man. 1 hour and 23 minutes just flew right by, bro. You're so
I know, right?
Cool to talk to. It's just easy to talk to you, and I hope we can have another podcast here soon, and we'll keep in touch, bro. I mean, hell yeah!
Don't you and Greg Brown have a podcast?
Yeah. That's what I'm telling Greg, that we gotta stay consistent with our podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'm excited to watch the next episode of Arm Wrestling Buzz now.
Yeah, right.
Now that this is out here and all that other stuff, I'm excited to see what's going to happen there, because I'm going to tell you right now, hey, I can't wait for that. I like to see what his response is then. Go, hey, bro, because Paul was watching on the show. Hey, bro, what's going on with that? We doing it or not? So
thanks for tuning in.
unless I wasn't listening because I'm getting old in age, still, there's no date set because you've offered the match to Tom on 2 occasions. He
Yeah.
golfed at it, dug his heels. Now all of a sudden he's calling dates. So it's
Yeah.
like, bro,
Yeah. Now all of a sudden he's trying to act like he's the like I'm the one who's ducking, or like I'm the one that's like not wanting the match, and it's like, nah, bro, don't turn it around on me. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. We offered you the match on a silver platter 2-3 times. So, and everybody knows that. But I mean, I'm sure we can make the match happen. If everything can get settled and agreed on, and everything's right and justified and reasonable. I mean, I don't see why not. Let's give the people what they want. But my main objective is to get a super match with the Chocolate Thunder. I would love that, man. We got to make it happen, bro. I feel like I think people believe that I deserve it, and it's humbling. It's humbling for me to acknowledge that I'm at that level. A lot of people are acknowledging it, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, it'd be a great match." So I think it would be too, and hopefully Monster Michael Todd gives us that opportunity. It'll be electric.
I'm sure he will. We just got to make the planets align, So we'll figure something out. If it ain't toward the end of the year, and Justin Green will be right hand, by the way. If it's not toward the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year, we'll go from there. We'll go ahead and make this thing happen. Again, Freddie, my friend, thanks for joining me on the show. I'm sure at some point you and Greg Brown will ask me, and I'll hop on your show, and y'all can fire questions at B.
Absolutely.
And we can do that. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for taking time out of your day on a Friday, because that's how we roll into the weekend, right? All right.
The early bird special, baby.
And I'm going off 5 hours of sleep, so I got off at 2 a.m. So
Chocolate Thunder making it happen.
2 cups of coffee. I might, once I make a few phone calls after this, I might take another nap before I go back in at 3 o'clock. But that's how I roll. We got to keep that grind going, my friend. But Freddie,
that's what it's all about.
My man, we'll keep in touch, my friend. Thanks for joining me on the show.
No, thanks for having me, man. It was an honor, and hopefully we could keep making waves in the sport, Jody. Let's do this, bro. I'm excited for the future.
Yes, everybody, enjoy your Friday. Till next time, see you when I see you. There you go.